In the very heart of Athens stands a temple where purity collided with the primal rage of the gods. We are used to seeing Medusa as a monster, a creature whose gaze turns living beings to stone. But what if I told you that those snakes were never a punishment? What if they were the answer to a cry for help that no one wanted to hear? Today, we will look straight into her eyes, and we will discover whose face was truly the most terrifying on Olympus. Long, long ago, long before people began to fear her, Medusa was renowned for her grace and breathtaking beauty. In sunlit Athens, she was born neither monster nor goddess. She was human. Her skin was like polished ivory, her hair so magnificent that people whispered it could rival the golden locks of Athena herself. But Medusa was not only beautiful, her soul was something special too. From childhood, her heart had been drawn to Athena, wise, pure, unyielding. And so the girl decided to dedicate her life to serving in the goddess's temple. Life inside the temple was calm, quiet devotion, careful rituals. Her days began before sunrise. She helped the elder priestesses, lit incense, polished bronze offerings until they shone like mirrors. She had taken strict vows of chastity. She believed her complete devotion would earn the goddess's favor and protection. She loved that peace. She dreamed of a life untouched by the storms of the outside world. But even the holiest places are not safe from the whims and desires of the gods. Poseidon, mighty lord of the seas, whose temper was as vast and violent as the ocean, noticed Medusa. His interest quickly turned into obsession, and the fact that she belonged to the temple of his eternal rival Athena only fueled his determination. This was not mere lust, this was a challenge, an attempt to humiliate Athena through her most faithful servant. One fateful day, Poseidon entered the temple. The air grew heavy, oppressive, unnatural. Medusa was completely defenseless. She cried out, she begged for help, but her voice was heard only by the cold stone walls and the silent statues. Right in the heart of the sanctuary, a place created for purity, the god of the sea committed an act of horrifying violation. When he left, a deathly silence fell over the temple. Medusa was left alone, abandoned, betrayed by the very divinities she had served with all her soul. And then Athena appeared. But the goddess's anger did not fall upon the rapist, it fell upon the victim. In a cruel twist of divine justice, Athena blamed Medusa for defiling the temple. She decided that the priestess's beauty itself was the problem, a temptation, a lure that had drawn Poseidon in. And so the sentence was pronounced. Athena laid her curse. Medusa's beautiful locks began to writhe, to harden, to turn into living, hissing snakes. Her radiant skin became covered in rough scales, her hands ended in sharp bronze claws, and the most terrible gift, her gaze. Anyone who dared meet her eyes turned instantly to lifeless stone. Medusa was banished to the edge of the world, to barren, rocky islands, eternal solitude. Every time she glimpsed her reflection in the water, she relived the loss all over again. She could no longer touch any living being without destroying it. Her world became a garden of stone figures, those unfortunate enough to wander into her lair. But here is the insight that changes everything. Her gaze was never just a curse. It was a shield, an absolute defense for a wounded soul, a guarantee that no one would ever hurt her again. The snakes on her head became a crown of fierce, untamed power, born not from gentleness, but from the deepest betrayal.
Years passed, and on the other side of the sea, another story began, the story of Perseus. The young hero was sent to fetch the Gorgon's head by the cunning king Polydectes, who wanted to be rid of him. And once again the gods intervened. Athena and Hermes equipped Perseus, winged sandals, the helm of darkness that once belonged to Hades, and above all, a bronze shield polished to a mirror shine. Athena herself taught him, look only at the reflection, never meet her eyes directly. When Perseus reached the island, Medusa was asleep. Even in sleep her snakes writhed, silently, endlessly in pain. Looking at her through the reflection, Perseus felt not triumph, but something close to pity. He did not see a monster, he saw a broken woman, exiled, cursed for something she did not do. With one precise stroke of his sword, he severed her head. But even in death, a miracle occurred. From the drops of her blood were born two beings, the winged white horse Pegasus and the giant warrior Chrysaor. In that act of violence, new life was born, the purity that had been stolen from Medusa while she lived. Perseus used the Gorgon's head many times more. He turned the Titan Atlas to stone, the sea monster Satus, and finally King Polydectes himself, freeing his mother Danae. And at the end of his journey, he returned the head to Athena. The goddess, always cold, always calculating, placed it upon her shield, the Aegis. An ironic ending. Medusa finally reached the place she had always longed for, close to the heart of Athena. But at what cost? This story teaches us one thing. Monsters are not born. They are made by those who have power and no compassion. And the next time you see her face, remember, you are not looking at a monster. You are looking at a woman whose pain became her armor, a woman whose name became immortal, despite everyone who tried to destroy her.